New today, there are new child passenger safety laws here in the state of Michigan. I sat down with Lieutenant Michelle Robinson with Michigan State Police to walk you through those changes and ask her why these changes were made in the first place.
There's a lot of changes coming on, and April's a very, very busy month for safety, but we're going to be kicking it off with child passenger safety. And on April 2nd, a new law takes effect that has a lot of different variations as far as buckling your child in a car seat. One of the things is that, and we've always taught this, is to always make sure that the seat that you're using is appropriate for your child. But where these changes come into effect is that it's now required that you leave your child rear facing up until the certain age, and then also that there's going to be a lot of upset kiddos out there, but any child under the age of 13 must be in the rear seat of the vehicle.
Gotcha.
And
so no front seat sitting.
Correct.
Yeah.
Me being a mom, I know what a challenge this is going to be because both my children were the same way. The minute they were out of a booster seat,
Yeah,
they wanted
like,
to be
let
up
me
front.
sit in the front. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's going to be one of the biggest things, is that anybody that's under the age of 13 needs to be in the back seat. And a lot of times what we find when we have these collisions with children in the front seat, the airbags are designed to protect adults. And so that airbag, the velocity at which it comes out of a vehicle, when they have the small frame of a child, that will, a lot of times is where we get the serious injuries of the children. And so all of these laws that are coming into effect are for the purpose of keeping children safe in our cars.
Yeah, are you able to provide any clarity on, obviously it's not like we didn't have any laws before, but these changes being made, is it just kind of, we've learned more about how airbags and, sitting in the back may be safer, things like that? What was sort of the push for, I guess, some of this change?
Well, there's always, as technology changes and cars become safer, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is always doing crash tests to determine what is the best possible, the safest possible place inside of a vehicle. And so they'll also test the child car seats from infant to high back boosters, and there really wasn't anything that was concrete. It was recommended that a child do this, and so the new laws that are coming into effect are now you must do this, or you will face a traffic citation. And so, but the bigger thing is that these laws are going into effect to keep children safe.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's our number one goal when we have children inside of a motor vehicle, is their safety. Even if they are, complaining and whining and
it's for their own good, worth the fight, because keeping them safer and in the best spot, depending on, height and weight and age and all of that.
If you go to www.michigan.gov/OHSP for the Office of Highway Safety Planning, they have all of the law changes and what your child should be in. But we always still recommend that you check that car seat for that particular, know your child's height and weight.
Right.
And then that will determine what the best car seat is for your child. And we really don't recommend buying a car seat from a garage sale. There's a lot of organizations out there that will provide car seats if you can't afford them. So that's just something you have to do a little bit of homework on, and make sure that you have that proper seat for your weight, height, and age of that child.
And we talk about them all the time, but there's often events in all communities too, that if you want to have your car seat checked by a law enforcement agency, just to make sure you have everything set up, we frequently talk about those, and events like that happen all the time. So that's a great resource as well.
Absolutely. And a lot of times parents don't realize, they think they can just put the seatbelt in and it's good to go. You have to literally, you have to compensate for the cushioning that's in the seat of the motor vehicle. So in order to get that, you don't want it to move within an inch. And so you have to put your whole weight on that car seat as you're tightening up the seatbelt retractor. And a lot of parents don't realize that if you pull your seatbelt all the way out, that engages a locking mechanism within that retractor of your seatbelt, and that's what keeps that seat secure in your motor vehicle.
Yeah, so definitely a complex process, one that you can certainly do, but if you want that kind of second set of eyes to make sure that everything is set, those events are a great resource.
Absolutely.
Awesome.